Good morning and welcome to the next episode of 80 Days, where we are traveling the world because someone has a gambling problem. Pitcairn Island, land of the 84, or 79, or some such number. Sleep, I guess, because my master needs rest. That did not heal him at all. Okay. Okay, that, again, I have no idea what's going on. I'll have you know it's not my fault that we are dwaddling and dawdling and waddling. He's the one who's injured, not me. It's not my fault. He does not like me. But that is okay because he is now 24 health. Well, okay, we've been stranded because of his sickness, and now we're stranded because of his health. This is not my fault. I claim no fault of mine. Oh. To my horror, I found my master was beginning to teach himself to whittle, sitting in the moonlight by the shore of the sea, with a short blade in one hand and a tree branch in the other. Monsieur, are you making a raft? I demanded, quite sure his sanity was sinking into the ocean by degrees. No, he replied, clearly daydreaming as he spoke. I'm fashioning a scale model of the Bounty herself, upon which there was a grand mutiny, of which I have already thought of. And when it is complete, I will set it loose upon the waters. But what of our great journey? I begged, despite the fact that I am in fact the one holding us back, except for the fact that he is the one who is sick. Despairing at the sight of such a great man reduced to this near vegetable status. We have come halfway, was his only reply. And we are on day 76 out of 80. Can we go 4 days? Halfway around the world in 4 days? I think not. I slapped him by the cheek. His gaze whipped up at me. For a moment he shook, then very slowly he put down the blade. I will trouble you, my man, not to ever do that in my presence, or upon my physical person, again. It was day 76. We had barely 100 hours remaining to return home. But we are still sick. Well, we literally cannot do anything except for sleep. You know, at one point, I actually thought maybe, just maybe, we would make it. 34! Oh, wait. That put him at the 0 state. It's one more night, and then I'll be alive with 2% of his health. Depart, embark, and off we go. The first ship to come to Pitcairn Island was a submersible, because of course it is, crewed by a crew of rowdy Chileans. We first saw them when their periscope appeared above the water, some way offshore. And I pointed it out calmly to my master, as we are very stoic. Apart from when we're completely insane. I do not suppose they will fail to land. There's nowhere else inhabited nearby, after all. He was no doubt right, so we waited and watched. The periscope eye turned this way and that, and disappeared onto the waves. All was still once more. I waited with bated breath. The waters were quite still. Nothing moved. I shrugged. Another few days on this island was hardly a punishment. Mainly because my master again is dying. Because, you know, he's him. Just then, a great wave hit the beach, followed by another, seemingly sprung from nowhere. Well, I wonder what that could be. A moment later, a great craft, shaped like a white, flat crab, surfaced like a skimming stone sliding onto the bay. I was at its side before the hatch opened. An artificer's ship, and no mistake, and that meant escape. As the ship departed, I saw my master lean over the rail and toss something into the water. It was a small, unfinished model boat. Turning back, I caught his eye. but his face showed no more. Stiff upper lip, no, that what? Onward! Passport through, he declared, and we did not mention the matter again. My master will hit me by the end of this. Our mysterious rescuers were not artificers, as I had previously supposed. Though the submersible they piloted was certainly a recent product of the Artificers Guild, even though I have no clue at all what that means. We are simply merchants, the captain told us, with a beaming smile, who stop at isolated places that have no concept of anything. There are surely not enough people there to sell to. The man looked awkward for a moment, and then shrugged with a smile. And to him I should have sold that illegal little jewel thing I had. Not many people, he replied, but consider this. Those that are there are certainly grateful to be sold to. An answer it seemed decidedly fishy. After all, how would the people of Pitcairn Island acquire any money in the first place? Especially if they believe they are, in fact, the only people that exist. I'm sensing plot holes. But then, therein lay a great mystery. Where did money originate? I'm going to say the governmental printing press. Wherefore my master's own fortune and my lack of one. The captain sighed with what appeared to be relief, because existential questions are the answers to esoteric problems. Then quickly excused himself. The submersible carried on its way. Passport due. Perhaps you can think of something? I guess I'm below par. Well, of course you do. The crew of the Cangarejo spent the second day below the waves trying to convince us they were not drug smugglers. They did not succeed. Partly it was their manner which gave them away. An opulent vessel does not a drug smuggler make. Just saying. They were hardy men and women of business, constantly calculating and recalculating matters with their hands as they discussed anything from how much salt to add to the paella through how wide to spread the fishing nets. Partly it was the opulence of their vessel. Partly it was the mysterious barrels in the hold, and by partly I mean about 98%. But the craft, at least, moved quickly through the water. Monsieur Fogg was more than a little pleased. We shall be in Santiago within the day, he calculated. We were held up a short distance off the shore of Valparaiso, where we were due to put ashore for the short carriage ride to Santiago. Not my business, not going to ask. It's worked out for me in the past. We waited patiently, my master appearing unconcerned. I had expected some difficulties on this stage, he remarked, and have calculated for them. Of course you have, which is why we're on day 80 out of 80, and we're in South America instead of England. I nodded. Surely not. What is the cause of them? The other one sounds a little sarcastic. I'm trying to repair my relations. This is a stolen boat, my master replied coolly. Of course it is, 'cause why not? I like stolen things, as evidenced by my stolen dragon blah 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 blah. I imagine it must be careful not to reveal itself to the coastal authorities. Pirates and smugglers, I exclaimed, as if we haven't dealt with them before, or bought from them before. Indeed, my master replied, but remarkably quick ones, as we have seen. After a few more hours, the engines swirled to life once more, and we darted forwards, charging at, and then onto the beachfront. How does one get off a beachfront? We landed roughly, then hung back while we allowed the captain and crew to disembark first, because after all, it's a good idea to let someone else take the charge. Remember, I'm standing right behind you, using you as a shield. A good thing, too, as within minutes of leaving the ship, they were surrounded by soldiers wearing the insignia of the Copper Lily. We hid in the ship until the crew had been let off in irons. A light guard was placed around the boat. And now we're trapped. Do not worry, Passepartout. Follow me. And with that, Monsieur Fogg strode off for the exit hatch. Artificers, he declared. We have been held hostage by these pirates. The soldiers were most sympathetic, providing us with a hot mate and grilled meat before sending us up to Santiago. See, my master is smart. Why did I ever leave him for the circus? My gosh. You two are lucky to be alive, the cart driver said. Those pirates are ferocious types. Most likely they intended to sell you as slaves. Day 80 Passepartout. And here we are in Santiago, narrowly avoiding having been slaves. We have used up our 80 days. Join us next time as we travel somewhere else. Good night and good luck. Greetings and